SG, Edwin Sifuna, has now claimed that ODM members who have been nominated to President Ruto's cabinet negotiated for the positions without Raila Odinga's knowledge. Do you believe that?
To be honest, I don't. Because Raila would have already come out knowing the history of how Raila presents to the public. He should have already come out and taken that claim. But something else that is really bothering me is the fact that despite how much we as the youth have come out and said we do not want this nonsense of political alliances and regions and I belong to this party and this party, the fact that politicians still feel that that's a basis, a talking point that they can approach as Kenyans, as it's quite disappointing, and it's a proof that they are not getting what we as young people are telling them to do for our country. So I do not believe him, but it's also unfortunate that it's still a talking point, even in as much as we, the youth, keep coming out and protesting about the basis of these elections.
Kasmuel, Sifuna denouncing the 4 ODM leaders that have been appointed to the government, yet the same leaders we saw them at KICC during the signing of the IBC bill. Are we having double standards here, or is it a script? Again, Raila Odinga has not come out then to also hold that position. But Sifuna says he's even ready to relinquish his position as SG. Could this be a script, or now ODM trying to save itself with the chairman, 2 deputy party leaders, and also the minority leader already in government or working towards the cabinet?
You know, Kenya is a nation of people who talk big, and game is game. Because there are people who even, if you think about it away from the political class, there are people who said that if certain cabinet secretaries were fired, they would walk naked. You know, people have made promises. But now going back to the political class, I think this is just talking big, saying that he's willing to relinquish his position. Baba being Baba, he would have tweeted and said this was done without his knowledge. So what I see is a specific media training of them saying, hey, listen, we might be losing ground coverage and whatnot, but this is what's going to happen. Because you cannot tell me that Raila Odinga, something would happen in his backyard without his knowledge. Because now there are 2 scenarios that would happen. He will show up with a washed-up apology saying that he was out of the country for treatment and he was away from his phone, so things happened. Or he'll show up with a flimsy excuse. If it is true that this happened without them discussing as a party, and I don't even know why we are centering ODM in this conversation, let them join us in the streets today. Because when Baba talked about Baby Pendo, when he talked about the extrajudicial killings of the previous administration, he was very, very categorical. And I remember when body bags were being sent to Kisumu in 2017 and even much more recently, he was very vocal about those. I'm asking Baba, are we children of a lesser God? Are we in the Gen Z demographic less human than the people who you've always fought for, sorry? It bewilders me to think that they would claim ignorance. I have never thought of these people. They have always postured as the poster children of intelligence, of the poster children of wisdom in this administration. And they're just revealing their true colors, that they truly are as ignorant as this current regime. And I say this because the first and only object of a good government is the sanctity of the life of its people and its happiness. But also on the flip side, violence is usually the last resort of an incompetent government. We have seen that this government neither cares for the sanctity of our lives nor for our happiness, and it has also resorted to violence. So this proves to me that there is a deep, deep incompetence. If these people mean what they truly say, let them join us on the streets today, because today we are marching for all the fallen comrades. We have taken, our blood is being shed, and then they eat their spoils. When we bleed, they feed. Those kinds of things where the political class, as I said before, has not only paced on our graves, but had an orgy and desecrated us to the highest possible levels. If they're claiming that ignorance, I dare them, I double dare them. If they're truly men of their word, let them join us in the streets today.
Also, if at all it's true, Odinga was not aware of the 4 ODM members joining the cabinet, is it also an opportunity for him to rescue back his image by calling on the members of parliament not to approve them, because there's still that option?
Why does he need to call on the members of parliament when he can call to the president and say revoke these things? Because they are not cast on stone. The president can just repeal them and do a shuffle. So it keeps on. It makes me wonder, what was the purpose of him putting out all those communiques that he put out on his social media? What was the purpose of him saying that he listened to us? But again, we're not here to center any political figures or any political parties. But it is a stark reminder that now we, the people, have firmly established our position as the official opposition party of the country. And we are now firmly reminded, if you had any doubt in your mind thinking that there's a politician who's coming to save you, no one is coming to save you. When they said they will not believe, they were talking about you and I. And truly, truly, we are not believing that this is the angle that they have chosen. I cannot imagine that the poster child, the ODM's poster child of intelligence, poster child of wisdom, poster child of being for the people, can go on national television and claim ignorance as defense. I'm utterly disappointed in council.
Shakira, you know, all eyes are now on Parliament. They just resumed their sittings the other day, that is on Tuesday, after a 3-week recess. And the events of 25th June, it's now 25th July. Parliament has an option of now saving their image, restoring confidence and trust. This is a litmus test for them. What are your expectations, even as Parliament will begin to vet the CSs from 1st of August?
Ideally, they wouldn't even agree to come to the vetting table. They should reject the entire list from the one go, instead of wasting time and resources to vet individuals who we know and everybody knows that they are not qualified to be in these dockets. Let them return the list back to the president. Tell him, bring us a new list of nominees, people we can actually spend time vetting and consider for these positions. So if they do indeed have the goodwill of the people, and if they are willing to represent us, as that is what they are mandated to do, they should listen to the people and return this list back to the president and request for a new list so that they can vet people who are worth even spending the time vetting.
A failure to which?
We, as young people, we will continue protesting, because that is the only avenue that we have left for us to air our grievances towards our elected members of parliament and the presidency as it is. So we will come out on the streets. Like today's agenda mainly, it is 1 month after we lost so many people on 25th, the protest on 25th. We are going to march together, and our target is we are going to Harambee House, and we are going to present this list of people who we have lost to the office of the president, and we are going to demand that justice be served. At least this rogue police who are still outside working, and none of them has been taken to account or arrested, and investigations being done. So we will continue coming out to the streets every Tuesday, every Thursday, or whichever day people decide, until we are able to sit back and say, yes, now the government is doing what they are supposed to do for the citizens of Kenya.
Kasmal, Parliament has now an opportunity to save its image. There is no perhaps public confidence, and that's why there have been calls of the whole parliament to be dismissed. There are even conversations of recalling some of the members of parliament. This whole list is now going before them for vetting. What's the way forward?
Parliament has the chance to confirm to us whether it is a place where dreams go to die. It is the dumping site that it has been, that only does the whims and the wits and whims of the executive. It has the chance to confirm to us, to confirm or deny whether it truly is an intellectual. It's vacuously intellectually in the sense that there's nothing that happens there. There's no activity. The lights are on, but there's nobody home. I cannot make demands of this parliament because they've shown us that they are wheeler dealers. They're in there for the people who are going to pay the most. They whore with our future. They absolutely have no regard for the electorate. And the way forward is we will take it upon ourselves. We will take it upon ourselves to ensure that they do the right thing. Even if it, I think if we have to call for mass action again, we will call for mass action. Because it seems as though the people of Kenya have been left in a limbo. We're in a sort of lacuna where nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. The people who we looked up to as the bastions of social change have absolutely abandoned us. You find them spewing propaganda on social media. They want to besmirch our names. They want to sow disunity. And now I think it has come to a point where we have said that enough is enough. When we're looking at these nominations and whatever is happening in terms of governance, you can tell, even the advisors that enjoy taxpayer money, quite literally, there's very little brain activities. So they have 2 brain cells and they're all competing for 3rd place. Quite literally, this is a call for better healthcare services. Because if we had functional healthcare, we would not have these kinds of legislators. These are diseases that ought to have been treated in early childhood. That is, we're dealing with people who are sick. We need to, it requires proper healthcare and exorcism, not those willy-nilly prayers. What we need is, we need to call on the traditional healers to remove whatever spells that have been cast on our political and ruling class. Because and people are chanting, si uchawi ni maombi. They are praying to idols and to prophets of Baal. Whatever this thing is, at this point, with the amount of goodwill that they have lost in the Kenyan people, the amount of public distrust that is, it is, I think, as official members of the opposition, if the political class does not shape up, we will have to call for mass action.
So Gen Z is now the official opposition?
We, the people of Kenya, are now the official opposition because the political class has clamored together and they have decided that they will work together.
So Odinga has finished writing his political obituary, in other words?
I cannot speak for Odinga, but I can speak for myself, I can speak for my sister Shakira, and the millions that are going to march that we know we are entirely on our own.
What's Odinga's political future?
I do not know, and I do not care. I know that currently the political class has decided that it has no interest whatsoever in my future. It has no interest whatsoever in ensuring that Shakira will finish school. It has no interest whatsoever, even if she finishes school, that she will be placed in a job, that she will just be seen as an object, that she will just be seen as a person who needs to be tossed around so that she can meet the quota of the 2/3 gender rule. And that's what we are saying. We will not accept. We have refused this, that consistently the dignity of the Kenyan people has been stripped away from them. And we are saying that enough is enough. Whatever it needs, whatever we need to do. And we have said, some of us are very ready to die for our country. If this is what it will cost for my daughter and my son and my loved ones to have a great future, then so be it. It cannot be that we will let the political class consistently use our blood to sanitize their hands and to seal political deals. Previously, people used to do it. The king's seal used to be done by the blood of animals. Now they're doing it with the blood of youth. It is absolutely bonkers, and we have to stand against it. And that's what we are saying, that we will not relent until this rot is fixed.
Shakira, Mashujaa Way to March, there is a poster that you uploaded to honor the fallen heroes of 25th June 2024. You've said you'll be presenting a petition to the office of the president, but there is this part, laying of flowers in parliament. Are you not fearing what happened on 25th last month?
It is unfortunate that the police brutality that has met us youth in trying to better our country is the first question that comes to everybody's mind when we say that we are coming out to protest. Personally, yes, I am fearful. I know a lot of youth out there that are not, but for me, I do fear. But what it is the only option that we have left. And the fact that these people had to lose their lives in in front of the parliament, while the members of parliament were busy passing through under tunnels and using ambulances that should have been used to help these people who've been shot to escape, it is quite unfortunate. So we will show up again, because we are going to lay the flowers, because this is at the point at which their blood was shed, and we are calling upon the police to be there to offer us security rather than fight us, because protesting is within our constitutional mandate, and as the police, they should be there to ensure that no goons are infiltrating within our masses and stealing from people. They should be there to ensure that each and every youth that has come out to mourn the people who we lost in their hands should be able to go back safely to their families. And it is never too late for them to come and try and cleanse themselves of what they've already put us through and made us suffer through. But I will still show up, and I hope other youth as well are going to be there, because we need to stand together. The political class and older generation have already shown that they are not willing to make these sacrifices to make our country better. So we are going to continue showing up for ourselves and for our children. And I would call upon even the older generation. This should not be, we keep on saying Gen Z, but Kenya is for all of us. It is supposed to be for them to come out and amplify our voices. Yes, I do not expect my grandmother to come out and march with me because she's old and frail, but there within the communities, she should be able to encourage other youth to come out. She should be able to encourage us to keep fighting for making our country a better place for all of us. And she should be able to understand what stance it is the youth are taking as a country, and why it is we are so adamant to fight against the political
class. Dr. Kasmuel, even as you give your part in short, you know, is it a political irony as well, if at all the 4 ODM nominees will sail through and become cabinet secretary, that they will now be forced to implement some of the flagship programs of Kenya Kwanza? For instance, Oparanya will now be dealing with the Hustler Fund. Energy and Petroleum, Opiyo Wandayi will even announce at some point fuel prices. National Treasury, John Mbadi, will be forced to tow the way of bottom-up approach economic model. They did not believe in it. Will Ruto government fail?
It will not fail. It will not fail in the sense that we are not measuring success as good, but how far below can they sink? So of course it is only because they are supported by gravity, it will continue to pull them down. And I say this because politicians are people without principles at all. Remember, they said that they will leave this skunk to the government. They said that they will not join this government because it is rotten. And now they are forming the crucial parts. President Ruto has given ODM a rope for them to hang themselves with. And they will take it because they're excited, and you would hear them saying that if there was no dialogue, they would not be serving as nominated MPs. And you can hear the inferiority complex, that it is not about the service to the people, but about the kind of office you hold. So whatever is happening is a thing which they've decided to dig their own graves. And we have said, as young people of this nation, that we will not be party to whatever nonsense these people have decided to partake on. They will play politics, and they have taken, this is the part that pains me the most. These people despise you, even as journalists. As you can see yesterday, I saw journalists march to Parliament. They got there and they even read demands to policemen. And they came back safely. But as a young person, they start tear gassing us up from Coptic area. Then they barricade State House Road. They barricade all the possible roads because there's a thing which they know, that they can gag the media. And as you can see, even and this is to this part, I would love to call out the media. The coverage of the protests changed because there was a threat from Communications Authority. And if you see, if you think about it critically, you can just see that this is an incompetent government, because the last resort of any incompetent government or organization is usually violence.
Your part in short.
Yes. As we part, I need to remind the people of Kenya that this is just the big. We are continuing. Whatever the political class has decided to do is not upon us. When we rejected the finance bill, we were not rejecting it because it was an Azimio or an ODM thing. No, it was because it was harmful for all the Kenyans. When we said we want this cabinet to be dissolved and not reshuffled, it was because it was incapable of functionality for the people of Kenya. As a young person, as a Kenyan who's true and patriotic to your land, do not let anybody sell you fear. We will continue to agitate because they cannot any longer use our lives as talking point as they have consistently done.
Thank you. Shakira, in 30 seconds or less, your parting shot.
For me, I'd like to urge everyone, not just Gen Z, everyone. Gen Z should stand for Generation Zote. Everyone should stay vigilant, inform yourself. And for me, the more I keep learning and being informed, it's fueling my anger and my push to try and fight for a better nation. So it's for everyone to stay vigilant, be adamant in fighting for a better country, and come out in support of what the Gen Z started. Because at the end of it all, Kenya is for all of us. And like Mercy campaigns for everyone, Kenya ni home, and it should be working for each and every individual.
Thank you so much, Shakira Wafula, an active citizen, Kasmel Makori, revolutionary artist, and as well Zaki Nuthia, who joined us earlier on, former Chief Administrative Secretary. It has been a conversation on the hijacked Gen Z revolution. My name is Joel Chacha. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. See you tomorrow again from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on K24. Good day.
Brace yourself for a heart-stopping